I have quite a lot of repotting to do, so I thought today I'm gonna have a nice relaxed day in the garden, getting on top of some of my plant maintenance, and I'd love to take you along and give you a bit of a life update on what happened over the last 3 months. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wasn't actually expecting the sun to come out. It was supposed to be overcast all day. I'm not complaining, it's nice and warm today as well. I think it's just 25-ish degrees. I really felt like gardening today. I felt like doing something. So I thought, you know what, actually I have quite a lot of South African and Australian natives that have been neglected for years. And it's probably time to give them a bit of a repot. And I also wanted to, oh, by the way, this is not rain, this is things from the tree and a little bit of rain actually. And yeah, I also wanted to have a good chat to you because I feel like a lot has happened over the last 3 months and I just wanted to keep you updated. So we're going to talk about all of my experiences in Brisbane, in Miami, spring, what's next for the business and so on. So plenty to talk about today. Also, I don't really know what I'm doing with my Australian natives. It's still early days in my growing journey with them. So to be honest, we're not really going to focus much on the plants today. It's really more about life. Alrighty, let's make a little bit of room. I also bought these terracotta pots at Bunnings today. I know I never use terracotta, but I thought they're kind of nice for them. I don't know. I felt like it today, and yeah, that's kind of what I do. When I feel like it, I'll just do it, and then I find out in hindsight if it was a good idea or not. That's how we work. I got some potting mix. Let me actually get a big bucket, and Bradley is sleeping. Let's see if he's gonna join us later or not. So this is a native mix I bought at Bunnings. These plants don't like too much phosphorus, so it is a mix that is low in phosphorus, but it has iron and magnesium. It is very acidic, and yeah, that's it. Asked me to wear gloves and a mask. I will wear gloves, but I won't wear a mask so you guys can hear me, but do as I say, not as I do. It is getting sunnier and sunnier. What's happening? Unfortunately, the umbrella can't cover me and you. And I put sunscreen on and I'm less likely to overheat. So you get the umbrella and I get the sun. So let's go in chronological order. Last live update was kind of right at the tail end of winter. And I remember I was doing the Lego, you know, I was building the little Lego figurine. And I remember just feeling so meh about everything actually. Pleased to say that life is so much better now that it's no longer winter, and at the same time I really feel for my friends in the northern hemisphere. I know I'm personally a summer person. I love summer, I love the warmer months. My plants love it too. If my plants are happy, I'm usually a little bit happier as well. So I really feel for you guys going through winter, but I hope that you guys can live through my content a little bit over the next few months, and then we'll switch again, yeah? We'll take it in turns. Alrighty. It's good enough. So, pretty much at the very beginning of spring, I went to Brisbane for 3 or 4 days, and I hope maybe you've seen the footage. I did 2 videos while I was there. And I absolutely love Brisbane. It is such a cool city. I could definitely see myself living there one day. We'll see how we go. And yeah, I really enjoy how they incorporate plants. But yeah, it was also nice to get out of Sydney, to get out of this sort of winter blues that I was in. Treated myself over there to like a nice massage, and yeah, I had a really good time over there. Definitely want to go back. I have a friend visiting, the same friend that visited like 1.5 years ago. If you are a long-time follower, you might remember. He's coming back to visit me again, and I think I want to take him to Brisbane because I really enjoy Brisbane. when I came back from Brisbane, it started really warming up over here, and we've had some really hot, over 30-degree hot days at the beginning of September already, which was kind of like a false start to the spring, because it then got really cold again, even with like down to like 4 degrees at nighttime. So, you know, at the beginning of September I was so excited. I was like, winter's finally over. And then hitting like another little low was really annoying. But this is Leucospermum Carnival Peach. The other one just said Protea. I think this one, the first one was Protea Pink Ice, I think. So yeah, that was a little bit depressing, having that false sense of relief first, like, oh my god, it's spring, and then it's kind of getting colder again. And it actually took till, I would say, like mid-October to really be a little bit more consistently warm, or like at least beginning of October. What is on here? Oh my god, heaps of ants. Hang on, ants don't like water. Let me drown these. There, sorry, I'll just do all of this in that corner over there, so it's not gonna get wet everywhere, because wet and dirt is just not my favorite combination. Maybe not the smartest idea to do that with gloves on, because now my gloves are wet. Basically, when I came back from Brisbane, it was very tempting to go ahead and start all of the spring prep and the spring everything, but I knew it was better to stay patient, because, you know, there's no point in me repotting all of these plants, inducing a little bit more shock, and then the temperature's going down again, right? So just waiting another couple of weeks or so for the weather to be a little bit more consistent, and then inducing shock as part of repots and so on, I think is a smart idea. So I stayed patient and basically just really focused on creating a bit of content, so that when I'm in America and then I come back from America and I went to Kangaroo Valley as well, that I have some content kind of banked up and I don't have to worry about filming. So yeah, I then mid-September went to America to the International Aeroid Society Expo, Tropical Plant Expo. You know what I mean? I think you would have seen the video. The video actually got quite good views, so I think chances are that you would have seen it. This is my newest addition, a king white Protea. Happy days. So probably, there are also ants in here. Why is there ants everywhere? What do I do about ants? I mean, that's just natural, right? Okay, let's soak this one too. I swear I'm gonna get to my story, I promise. I mean, these all live outside, so I'm not surprised that nature found its way in there. But I don't know if they're harmful or not. But I just kind of dunked the root ball in water, because I don't think ants can swim. Now I feel a bit bad. Oh well, it is what it is. Alrighty, so I was invited by Plant Hall, which is the ants. Oh my goodness, let me just do that with all of them, and then we can sit down and then we can properly do it. What is happening? Okay, I definitely don't have enough pots for all the plants that I've got, so let me just quickly strategize, then we can finally talk about it. Oh, this one here. Okay, beauty. That means I'm only one pot short. Not sure how I miscalculated that, but YOLO. So, the ladies from Plant Hall invited me to join them on their stall for the fair, and they are the official US distributor of the plant nutrient that I've been using pretty much ever since I started this hobby. They invited me there, but they also paid for my flight and accommodation, and it was also a paid opportunity for me to go there. So it was definitely a business trip, and I'm super grateful for having these sort of businesses that I can work with. While I have been advertising their product, the GT product, for the last 4 years, this is actually the first time I made money from this, or like the US distributor is the only one that actually works with me on a monetary basis, let's say. So it's really nice that after 4 years of working with this product, I'm finally able to kind of get compensated for the work I did in, you know, making it so popular and spreading the word. I mean, look, the problem over here is that at the end of the day, I'm going to talk about this product if they pay me or not, because I genuinely use this product. And if somebody, did I just rip this? No, it just came off. I thought it looked a bit unhealthy. Oopsie. But the other ones look healthier. Yeah, this one is not doing well. Anyway, I use this product and I genuinely like this product. It's definitely a huge contributor to the success that I've had with my plants. So if somebody asks me what product I'm using, I of course not going to gatekeep that just because the brand isn't paying me for this. But that also puts me in a shitty position, because from a brand's perspective, why would you want to pay for me to do advertisement for that product if I already do the advertisement for free for them? But I'm also not gonna stop using the product just because they don't pay me for it. I want to use the best products, you know, irrespective of the commercial aspect. But yeah, it is unfortunate, because at the end of the day, there aren't all too many collaborations I can do in the plant space anyway. Oh no, I'm ruining my new table with these pots. It's okay, it's character. Anyway, I don't want to talk about business too much. I want to talk about my experiences today, because I was, as always, quite nervous about going there. I'm always nervous about most things, to be honest, and I overthink, chronic overthinker. So I was honestly really worried, because first of all, I wasn't too sure. Like, you know, if I get paid for something, I always feel like there's a little bit more pressure on me to obviously deliver. I was worried that either maybe nobody even cares that I'm there, and then obviously that makes me look really stupid in front of the brand, you know. I was worried that maybe they, you know, expect like more from me or whatever, but at the same time I was also just in general nervous to be by myself so far away. I've been to the US before, but I was 19 and I was there with 2 friends and we were just traveling, and like I was a very different person back then. Don't get this the wrong way if you're American, but you know how people from overseas are worried about going to Australia because of the spiders and snakes, but actually when you're here, spiders and snakes are so not an issue. It's kind of just a stereotype that people overseas have about Australia that makes them not want to go here. I think we have the same with America and guns, or at least I have that. Literally my first thought was, I'm actually a bit worried about the guns. I was genuinely kind of worried about being at an expo where potentially anybody I talk to could have a gun. Like, that thought to me is really uncomfortable and a little bit unsettling. Even apart from that, just being anywhere really that you don't know, you don't really know the people that you're with, you don't know what to expect, and you know, it just made me a little bit nervous about all of it, of course. I mean, kind of who wouldn't? But also very excited, of course. I was of course excited about meeting so many people and having so many chats and being surrounded by other plant enthusiasts, right? Like my kind of people. But I can't help but, I can't help but always just worry a little bit. So anyway, I flew there and the flight was a full 24 hours. Got there late at night, or late at night. I think I arrived at 7 p.m. So the ladies from Plant Hall were so amazing. They organized pickup for me from the airport. So I got picked up and then transferred to the hotel. I had a nice shower and then we went out for dinner. And when I got to the hotel as well, the ladies left like a little welcome basket for me over there, slash birthday present. Oh, forgot to mention it was my birthday a couple of days before I went to Miami, so it was a good week in my life. And yeah, that instantly made me feel so welcome, I have to say. Like, that made a huge difference, because I instantly felt like, oh wow, they're like actually really excited to have me here. I'm excited to be here. They, you know, they're like, oh, let's take you for dinner. We found this vegan restaurant nearby, because they're not vegan, I'm vegan. Even every single thing in the birthday package thing, like the little welcome basket that they gave me, was vegan, like vegan chocolate bars, vegan everything, right? Like, so just the, you know, knowing that somebody put thought in there, and they only know because I met them once before. They were in Sydney at the beginning of the year for a holiday themselves, and we just had a coffee catch up. And I think, I don't know how, I think I just mentioned it briefly when we were talking about breakfast or something like that, that I'm vegan. So they remembered and incorporated that into my little basket, which made me feel really, really appreciated, looked after, and so on. So that kind of instantly melted my worries and so on. And then, yeah, we had dinner. And yeah, headed back to the hotel because we were tired. They already did the setup on the day. I unfortunately arrived too late to help out with the setup. Also arrived too late to go to that pre-party that Aeroid, Perfect Choice Nursery and I Wet My Plants put on. That started when I was still up in the air somewhere. I think I only had 4 hours of sleep because of jet lag. I think there's 17 hours time difference, but honestly, if you're flying for so long, it's like a 24-hour journey with a stopover in LA. So by the time you get there, like, you don't actually know what time it is anymore, irrespective of where you started and where you ended up. Plus I didn't sleep much on the plane either. So I think on the plane I might have slept 4 hours combined throughout both flights, and then had 4 hours of sleep that night before the first day of the fair, because obviously, again, I'm a bit nervous. I don't know what the fair looks like. I don't know what to expect, how many people are going to be there. I don't know what people want from me, who's going to be there, how people perceive me, and so on, you know. But there was absolutely nothing to worry about. I had such a good time. We had a little stall over there where we displayed all of the GT products, and we had so many people come over and say hello. And if you're watching, hello. Like, really appreciate anybody who went by and talked to me, and everybody was so incredibly nice and had such lovely words for me. It was probably socially one of the most exhausting things I've ever done. I think I talked for 8 to 9 hours straight to people that are strangers to me, at least face to face. So some of them are actually, you know, I know their like usernames and so on, so they're not like complete strangers, but I obviously haven't ever seen you guys in the way that you have seen me, you know what I mean? Like, when you see me in real life, you have some sort of reference because there's hours of footage of me on there, but I don't have that with you guys. So for me to talk to so many strangers for 8 to 9 hours straight, it's super, super exhausting. But because everybody was so nice and had such lovely words for me, it kind of like, you know, like with every interaction, I got kind of fueled a little bit. So I would absolutely do that again, but I didn't see much of the actual fair, which was totally fine as well. You know, I knew that I wasn't able to buy anything anyway, so I was happy to just be there and talk to people and get to know more people. And yeah, it was really cool. Really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, and then I think that fair went from, oh my god, I don't even remember. I know it was 9 hours. I think it was 8 to 5. Yeah, so 8 to 5 I was there. One time it took me up to 1 hour to get to the bathroom because people were stopping me and so on. And like, that is not a problem at all. But yeah, it was honestly full on. Those 9 hours felt like this. I also met some plant influencers. I met Sean from Only Plants. I met Crystal. I met I Wet My Plants. I also met a bunch of other creators that I wasn't aware of before, but I then followed after. So it was really nice to get to see a lot more content creators over there. I think there's just more of you guys over there, of course. I mean, you're a much bigger country. And what I was really surprised by as well is the amount of live streams. There were so many people that were there live streaming while we were there. I don't know how I feel about live streams, to be honest. I never watch live streams myself, so I feel like that's why I'm a bit hesitant to do it myself. But the other reason why I also don't do live streams is because I live in a very different time zone to you guys. And my audience is very international, so we all have different time zones. So I don't really know when there will ever be a time for a live stream that would suit majority of the people, including me. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of live streams. I don't really understand how people can go live and monitor the comment section. Like, to me it seems wild, that comment section. Anyway, yeah, and then after that day we had the members dinner, which was also really nice, with some good talks from, like, you know, industry legends like Enid. And after the dinner, I mean, by then I was so tired, like so tired after. Oh, actually, before the dinner and after the show and before the dinner, I even jumped in the pool at the hotel because I knew that was going to be my one and only option to jump in that pool. So I did, and then yeah, we headed out to the dinner. And again, the ladies were so nice. Like, I didn't have to worry about anything, really. Like, they told me where I need to be at what time, and they drove me everywhere. They brought me food, you know, it's like, here's a salad, eat this, make sure to hydrate, here's a bottle of water, and so on. So they really looked after me throughout the whole day, which was awesome. And then, yeah, after the dinner, I was getting really tired, and you know, that's when I had a couple of beers as well after a long day, and like, the beers didn't help. But on the way back, Jeannie and Anne from Plant Hall were like, hey, we were invited to Edgar's birthday party at his house. Edgar is the owner of Perfect Choice Nursery. Do you want to stop by? And I was like, well, I don't know anything about Perfect Choice Nursery. I don't really know who Edgar was at the time as well. And I was like, you know what, like, I'm actually really tired. I would love to just go to bed, but I'm only in Miami for 2 days, right? Like, I can always sleep on the flight, or I can sleep whenever I want, but I don't have the opportunity to go to people's houses in Miami and look at their garden all too often, especially on a nice for birthday party and so on. So I said, might as well, why not? You know, even if we just stop by for 30 minutes, why not? And let me tell you, best decision ever. I went there expecting nothing, like, I had no idea what we were gonna get into, and the party was at his house that he built recently, and holy moly, it was such a beautiful house with such a beautiful garden, also really beautiful plants inside, huge, just absolute dream. That's exactly what I want in my life one day. A nice house with a nice garden where I can just have plants everywhere and don't have to worry about renting and moving and all of this. Anyway, the second I got there, I was no longer tired. I was just in awe of all of the plants. And then Edgar told me that a lot of the plants he grows indoors are also inspired by me and my tutorials and moss piles and my watering techniques and so on. And I'm like, I can't believe that somebody like him with such a beautiful house and garden and beautiful plants and amazing collection would be inspired by me. So that was extremely humbling and really nice, and there was a lot of other people there as well that I had nice chats to as well. So overall, very much worthwhile going. We then went back to the hotel. We didn't stay for all too long. We just waited just after midnight for his birthday, and I think I was in the hotel maybe by 1 a.m, which isn't the best given that I woke up at, I think I woke up at 4 that day. I then couldn't go to sleep because I was so hyped up by Edgar's house. I was like, oh my god, in my head calculating how many YouTube videos I'll ever have to make to like afford that house. Came to the conclusion that too many. Anyway, and then the next day I think the fair started a little bit later, and I think 2 hours later, I think it started at 10, went there, and Sunday was a much more relaxed day. There weren't quite as many people, so I had a little bit more time to go around, browse, and film a little bit for you as well. And if you haven't seen that vlog from Miami, I highly recommend it. I think it was a cool vlog. I enjoyed the filming, I enjoyed the editing, I enjoyed Proof watching it and so on. And I think you guys really enjoyed it too. It's a good mix of actually like a vlog, like my experiences, but also some plants sprinkled in and so on. But it's not just a tour of the fair, there's a lot of plants there. At the end of the day, I wasn't really there for plants. The second day I was able to focus on a few more plants, but to be honest, I think it was definitely like a rare plant show. Like, it was really all about like unicorns and crazy anthurium hybrids and variegated plants and so on. There weren't any like normal plants. I suppose you don't need an expo for normal plants. You can just go to big box stores, right? But I'd get all of them. And then on Sunday after the fair, I headed straight back to the airport and then flew back to Sydney. On the way back, I had a really short layover in LA, so I could not sleep on the flight from Miami to LA because I was so nervous whether or not I'm gonna make my flight. Of course, the flight ended up being delayed, so I made it and I had to wait, but I was just so nervous that I'm not gonna make it because that would be the last one for the day, and I really didn't want to be stuck in LA. I wanted to go home. I was tired and I wanted to sleep, and I wanted to sleep properly in my bed. Anyway, I also hardly slept on the way back, landed over here back in Sydney on Tuesday morning, and then I figured, you know what? I have slept so little in the last 4 days. Let's see it through. Let's not sleep until Tuesday night so that I beat the jet lag, and I kept myself awake all day by doing some planty chores, by cleaning, by watering and so on. And I managed to stay up all night and I didn't end up having a jet lag, which was really good. By the way, I didn't really do anything for the plants. I think Timmy went over once to water my garden, but it wasn't that hot in Sydney at the time, and I was only gone for 4 days at the end of the day. So it was a crazy trip. I would totally do it again. Now that I've met so many nice people over there and I feel more comfortable over there, I just, I wasn't too sure what I'm getting into, so I didn't want to commit to anything outside of the fair, So I was like, let's just do the fair and then go home, and then if I really like it and I get invited again next year, then maybe I can do a little bit more and explore some gardens in Florida and so on, now that I feel more comfortable. But I always need to feel comfortable with things first. Like, I'm not super adventurous, especially going there by yourself. I was like, what if I hate it and I committed to like 5 days of being there? Also, I was only being paid to attend the fair, right? So anything outside of the fair would have come at my own cost, which is fine, I don't mind spending money on holidays, but I already had a holiday coming up the week after, and I have another holiday coming up. So to be honest, Miami wouldn't be a holiday destination for me if it wasn't for the fair, so I didn't want to spend my holiday money on that. And also, I'm in the process of building up my business. I need to still prove to myself and to everybody else that this business can be viable, so I need to also just save costs. So staying longer and eating into the money that I made by attending the fair is not really a viable business idea. I wanted to keep the costs as low as possible to keep the profit up, right? And if that means that I can only spend a really short amount of time there, I need to go back home, then that's also okay. But yeah, I have to thank Plant Hall again for inviting me over there. I'm so grateful for having brands like Plant Hall that want to work with me and also acknowledge the work that I do in distributing the product or marketing the product, because as per my rant at the beginning of the video, not all brands do that, right? Plant Hall just distributes the nutrient. They import it into America and then they distribute it in America, either retail and also wholesale. I would love to have more partners all across the world, not just in America, but yeah, at the end of the day, after 4 years of working with that Fertiliser brand, it is nice to kind of be acknowledged for the contribution towards its popularity. So that was really special. So I really have to thank the ladies from Plant Hall, and also that they made me feel so welcome. That was really special, I think, and really made the trip. The fact that they were so nice, and of course the fact that everybody else was so nice at the fair. I have to say, everybody outside of the fair, like at the airport, I think airports internationally are known for not being like the nicest and friendliest places, but actually my Uber driver was really nice as well. And to be honest, I didn't really see anything but the fair and the airport, but everybody outside of the fair was a little bit rude, I think. I think people in Australia are a little bit nicer, in my opinion. I felt like, especially at the airport, I feel like I'm constantly being treated like a criminal, like I've done something wrong and I need to justify myself or something like that. I was a little bit taken back by that. But yeah, maybe I just got unlucky with my interactions. I flew American Airlines and the staff was so not helpful at all. They cancelled the flight 2 times and had to reissue tickets and so on, and I went to their desk and they're just like, they were so dismissive. Like, anyway, I think I just have high standards when it comes to customer service. I worked in customer service, I worked in hospitality for 6-7 years, and you know, I think it is so important to provide good customer service and just be nice to people. If you're nice to people, they're usually nice back. So I never understand why people are so grumpy. Anyway, I don't know. But at the plant event, all of the planty people, everybody was so nice and so happy. It was just a happy atmosphere and everybody was happy and everybody was excited. And I suppose that's what we want, right? Like, that's why I'm in this hobby, because it makes me happy, it brings me joy, and it's nice to see how much joy it brings other people as well. And it's also nice to see and hear how much joy my videos brought other people, or how my videos contributed to other people enjoying this hobby so much. So that was very special, and honestly it took me a couple of weeks to really, like, for it to sink in, you know what I mean? It was all very overwhelming at the time. I was somewhere new, sleep deprived, never done this before, like surrounded by new people. It was all kind of just like, is this really happening or is this kind of a dream? But it happened, I have the footage. Anyway, then I came back and I was here for a whopping 2 days before I headed to Kangaroo Valley for a little holiday to celebrate Tim's birthday and also my birthday, kind of belated. We're just 10 days apart, so we went there to celebrate both of our birthdays. Friends of Tim's own a property over there, and I also uploaded a vlog of that experience, but that's on my More SPG channel, so I'll link that in the description as well. I think nobody watched that video. I got like hardly any views, so I think it's a really nice video. If you want something really relaxing and just see some nature, Australian countryside, kangaroos, wombats, rainbows, clouds, mountains, then check it out. I thought it was kind of a really nice relaxing video. And then I came back and then spring was finally here. So September was obviously a very eventful month. Oh, hang on, there's one left, no? And then it was time to get onto the spring cleaning. And I mean, you've seen it all. Started off with the allocages, then I did the garden, then I did the greenhouse. Now I'm doing those. I think the only thing I haven't tackled as part of my spring cleaning is the wall of aeroids behind you. I've done a bunch of chop and extends. I've done some rearranging in my living room. You would have seen a full updated houseplant tour. I have been filming like... Hello bird. I have been filming like crazy. I have lots of ideas as well at the moment. Like, spring is honestly, I'm like a plant. Like, as soon as the weather is nicer and spring is here and it's warm and humid and my plants are thriving, I am also thriving. I have so many video ideas that I want to film, and yeah, I'm just in general really excited at the moment about my job. And I know that in winter, when nothing is thriving and everything, I'm just fighting for survival and it's dark and cold and depressing, then I'll probably feel shitty about my business again and so on. But I suppose that's just a cycle, right? Like, I'm just a plant. It's not a linear trajectory, how I always say it about our plants as well. It made me feel better about my business again. September was my best revenue month on YouTube ever until October, which was even better than September. Now, not by a lot, marginally, right? And I mean, I suppose it makes sense given that I have more time to create videos and I can also create more videos. Every now and then I give you a bonus one and so on. I suppose every month should really be the best month I've ever had, considering that my audience is also growing and also considering that I do this full time now, right? So I suppose it is good news, but it's also kind of like somewhat expected, but really happy about it. You know, unfortunately, I'm not immune to kind of being addicted to my views or, well, I wouldn't say addicted, but of course, you know, if your videos do well, and that's your job and your passion and your everything, you know, then obviously you see that as some positive feedback. If your videos do terribly, then it's hard to not take that personally and feel like, okay, you messed up. What have I done wrong? What can I do? My business is a failure, blah, blah, blah. It's something I want to work on. I don't know if I'm ever going to get there. I don't think I do, but I think this sort of, well, negative talk is not good, let's say, but I think what it does, it helps me want to do better and strive for more, you know. I think I don't want, like, it's good to not be in a position where you just feel super comfortable and you're like, I can do no wrong, whatever. Like, you know, I'm pushing myself harder and harder because I want to feel good about my business, and I know that I feel better about my business if my videos are also doing better. I still have a TV segment outstanding, but I have not heard from them in general. There's so many people that just don't reply to my emails or follow-ups. I don't know, like, does everybody hate me? I don't know. The business inbox has been quite slow, so I'm really grateful for having the consistency on YouTube. But yeah, anyway, I didn't want it to turn into a business update. I want it to be a life update, but my business kind of is my life at the moment, so it does actually play a big role in my mental health, unfortunately. Now, what's coming up? I have been filming like a madman because right now it's the middle of November. I don't know when you will see this because I have so many videos banked up. I think I have about 6 videos ready to go, and I have lots more ideas. And I suppose I just want to film quite a bit because last week of November, first I'm going to go to the Troye Sivan concert, yay! And the day after I'm flying to Fiji for 5 days with my housemate and Timmy. After I come back from Fiji, I have a couple of days here, and then it's my housemate's birthday, which is always a big celebration, and then my friend from Germany is coming and he's staying with me for 1 month. So he's staying over Christmas and New Year's as well, and we also want to travel a little bit. So we want to go to Brisbane. Maybe we're also going to go back to Kangaroo Valley with him as well, and so on. Now, I'm really excited about all of this, but I also am a little bit nervous about the financial situation, because in day-to-day life, it's much easier to save money, right? Like, because I can just cook instead of ordering or going out and so on. But, you know, if you have a friend over, especially if you don't get to see them all too often, you go out more, you travel more, and all of these things cost money, specifically over December and January, when it's like, you know, peak season, everything is quite expensive. So I'm really excited about all of it, but I'm a little bit nervous about the bottom line, because at the end of the day, it's important for me that my business is gonna survive and thrive, and as part of that I also need to cut the spending. But then also, what's the point in having a business and all of that if you don't enjoy your day-to-day life, right? I need to remind myself that at the end of the day I've chosen this path not because I want to become rich, because that's never going to happen on plant YouTube, but I did that so that I have the freedom to do the things that I want to do. Last time he came and visited, I still had my full-time job and I was moving, so terrible timing. So this time I'm not moving, or at least I'm not moving while he's here. Today we're not going to talk about the moving situation. Let's keep that for another day, yeah. Because I'm going to go on a rant on that one. I have a few updates, but not for today's video. Anyway, so at this time around, while he's here, I'm not going to be moving, and I also don't have a full-time job that I need to do 9 to 5. So I actually have heaps more time to spend with him. We got heaps more time to do things and so on. So of course I'm really excited about that, and it's always nice because my family is in Germany. It's nice to have somebody from Germany visiting over Christmas and New Year's, over these traditional family times, right? Like for me, Christmas, New Year's for the first 6 years in Australia was always work. I worked in hospitality, so you know, you work, and then since I then switched to corporate and I had that time off, I was always like, I don't really know what to do. Like, I don't celebrate Christmas. Obviously I celebrate New Year's, but yeah, to me it's always a time to spend with really good friends. So it's nice to have an additional good friend over here, and I'm sure I'm going to host a couple of parties while he's here, like a nice Christmas party, maybe New Year's party and so on. So I'm really excited, but as part of that, I also don't know how much content I'm going to create, but I can't actually afford to not upload videos. So I have to upload my 2 videos a week to stay alive, to keep paying the bills, you know. So I'm trying to record and edit as many videos as possible leading up to that, so that even when I have a week or 2 where I can't produce any content, I still have content to publish. So please keep watching my videos, but don't worry, I'll release them in chronological order. So while they're delayed a little bit, they're not out of sequence, if you know what I mean. I think that was it about the life updates. I can't think of anything else actually. Yeah, September was wild. Traveling around, I felt like a frequent flyer. October was wild because there was so much repotting and cleaning and filming and editing, and then November is really about getting ahead of the curve when it comes to my content, and then hopefully December is going to be fun. But I also really enjoy filming videos, like, don't get me wrong, it's really fun, especially if I have the time to do it. So I've had the best time so far, and it just keeps coming back to also it being spring and it being brighter and the sun not going down at 4 and not constantly freezing and all of that. So life is good, and I suppose I have to thank you guys for life being good. Right? If you weren't here to watch my channel, support me and engage with my content, and you know, then I wouldn't be able to enjoy my life in the way that I do right now. So I have to really thank you guys for making it possible, for enabling me to do this as my job and somewhat stay alive. Okay, let me get rid of the dirt before we add water to all of this, yeah, because I don't think that's a good idea. So I'm just gonna water these in. Now it's actually not ideal. These are all located on my balcony, the other side of the house and upstairs, so I need to get them through my bedroom onto my balcony. But they're going to be quite heavy, but I don't have a hose out there, so I didn't want to water it there because I want to thoroughly water them in. So I'll probably just keep them here for the day, let them drain thoroughly, and then take them up tomorrow maybe. Now on that south-facing balcony, it's kind of like the only place I've got for them. They definitely can't be inside, they're definitely outdoor plants, but in this garden I have, it's pretty full, this garden already. So I've got them out there, and in summer it actually works quite well for them because it gets nice full sun, it's south facing, but in winter the house in itself blocks any of the sun from getting onto the balcony. So they're supposed to thrive right now, or they're supposed to just finish blooming. None of them have even bloomed for me this season at all. And I think it is because they're just not getting enough sun during the colder months out there. But they at least survived. So I'll try my luck. I think some of them flowered a little bit uncharacteristically late in the year for me last year. Yes, here we go. Maybe next winter I'll change what I do in the garden anyway, and then maybe they can move into the garden. Hi Bradley. Next winter I want to induce dormancy for a bunch of plants anyway, and then maybe I have more room. But for now they're going to go back onto that south-facing balcony, and we're just going to hope for the best. Mic drop. Alrighty, we're done for the day. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for supporting me. Like, subscribe, leave a nice comment, watch it again, share it, do your thing, and I really appreciate it. Bye bye.